Hello. In this presentation, I'll be discussing a few things about the Lesbia poems written by Catullus, and we'll take a closer look at some of the smaller details which made big impacts in the story. First, let me start off with a quick summary to remind you what happened. Catullus was a young man who fell in love with a woman named Lesbia. They had an affair for a little while, but eventually Lesbia moved on, and she broke Catullus's heart, which led him to much pain and regret. Although it is a sad story, it is not like it's completely unpredictable. You see, there are many different factors that are needed for a strong, long-lasting relationship, such as being able to get along, having a strong friendship to build your new, closer relationship on, being able to trust each other, having the ability to commit to each other, being able to help one another whenever needed, the ability to come to agreements and make wise decisions when problems arise. The main factor of all these qualities comes down to personality traits. Obviously, if both members of a relationship have good traits, the chances are pretty high that they'll have a good, long relationship. But if both members have bad or undesirable traits, the chances are pretty low that they'll have a decent relationship. So with that being said, I believe that one could easily predict what would have happened between Catullus and Lesbia if they looked at their personality traits. Let's start off with Catullus. Catullus was a young man who did not know much about love. He seemed eager to dive into a relationship with anyone. He did not have the experience or self-control to stay away from someone he was attracted to. At one point, he even asked the gods to cleanse his soul of this sickness because he felt like he did not have control over his emotions. Even if there were immediate issues which Catullus could plainly see about Lesbia, he ignored them for the sake of being with somebody. So when Catullus met Lesbia, he did not seem to contemplate whether she could be trusted with his heart. On the other hand, Lesbia was older than Catullus and treated love like a game. Although she was married, it was said that she had a strong sexual appetite and slept with many men. It has been said that if Lesbia was attracted to another man, there were very few things that would stop her from pursuing him. She was the type of person who liked to hook up with people just long enough to feel appreciated, and then would leave them broken and alone. So as one could imagine, placing these two people together would most likely end up in a short, bumpy relationship. It was only a matter of time before Lesbia would leave him. It is clear that Catullus' love was selfish. That is why he was willing to go headfirst into this relationship without taking any precautions. He wanted to be in a relationship, and he wanted Lesbia to love him. Catullus lived for the present with no regard for the future. If there was anything promising about Lesbia that Catullus felt, it was of his own creation, and out of his own joy and excitement, he probably imagined she was feeling similar things. It is also possible that when Catullus sent someone to tell Lesbia that she would never find his love again, this was his way of giving her an ultimatum. I believe that if he truly didn't care about Lesbia anymore, he wouldn't have even bothered sending her a message. Catullus did not take this breakup lightly. He did not exaggerate the facts to make up a more dramatic story in his poems, but he just wrote down what he actually felt. Looking past all the sad and unfortunate parts of the story, even though Lesbia used Catullus and broke his heart, she also brought out the best in him when it came to writing, and it is the Lesbia poems that Catullus was most famous for. But despite any good or bad things that came out of these two meeting each other, one thing is clear. Catullus and Lesbia could have never had a strong lasting relationship with one another.